You're just another part of me. Yeah, yeah, me. What's up, y'all? It's your most Desmos. Video. I analyzed the biology of Big Bird. It's horrifying. All right, what you got? First, it was Clifford. Now it's Big Bird.
Bird is not
Hold
a
on, now, don't
bird. At least not
interrupt
one
me.
from
Hold
our
on.
time. He can't be.
Don't interrupt me, dog. Last time we watched it was Clifford. No, it was Elmo. An Elmo or Clifford. One of those. Now we with Big Bird with it, bro. Look what we got going on. Then I saw the little Tubby Tubby in the corner before I click my big screen. We're gonna watch that too. Yeah, we're gonna watch it. It's been a minute since we watched Nod. This is on Sesame Street once again. This time it's Big Bird. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It is on the road to 500, and let's see what's going on with this, dog.
Big Bird is not a bird. At least not one from our time. He can't be. Just look at him. He's 8 feet tall and built like a popsicle. But he has to be a bird, right? I think when watching Sesame Street, as I do regularly, my brain keeps trying to solve this. And well, in this video, I'm gonna answer that question. What can he be? What can we change about his biology
Hold on, y'all. Got to see if I'm in the camera. Cool. I just scoot over. I just make it show. Trying to get a good angle to that house. Anyways, who's your top 5 favorite Sesame Street character? I got a top 5 on my list in my head right now. Elmo number 1, Grover number 2. Give me Brian and Ernie together as number 3. Cookie Monster number 4. And give me Big Bird at number 5. Low key, I think that's a good list. And if you want to put a 6th slot, man, give me Oscar the Grouch. Low key, that's a tough 6-man crew right there.
Function in the world of science, and what horrors can we discover in the process? I promise you, this video is like one you've never seen, because this is no theory, but a scientific analysis of behavior, physical build, and the pure horrors of the biology of Big Bird. Let me...
Yo. Nah, how do you be making these type of thumbnails? Let me know how you be making these type of thumbnails. Like, I just need to know. I need to know, because what in your mind it just saying, you know what? I'm gonna make Big Bird look at me and just have his arms like this. You got that.
Pure horrors of the biology of Big Bird. Let me explain.
Okay.
Before we talk about organs or metabolism or how Big Bird is really not even a bird, we need to talk about the most obvious thing first, his size. Big Bird is 8'2", or for you non-Americans, 2.5 meters. That is in no way the size of a bird that exists. No, that is the size of a man in a giant yellow Muppet costume. But if we take it and apply it to our Big Bird species, it implies very disturbing things about
Man, Star
him.
Wars was on Sesame Street? What episode this was? Man, hold on, bro. What they got going on? Be all funny games. You see freaking shoot, I know the Jackson was on here, but shoot, y'all funny games. You see Kai Sedan on there. Low key. I think I could low key be playing an episode of Sesame Street. I don't know, y'all. I would love to do that though.
Ostriches are about...
Hold on. I always wanted to do that as a kid, though. I always wanted to be one of the kids that be like in Sesame Street, low key. Like a kid like did something, like a background character or something. Like, I don't know.
9 feet tall and around 300 pounds. Emus are 6 feet tall and about 120 pounds. And if we go back in time, we have terror birds, which compared to ours, were nightmare fuel incarnate and stood at a whole 10 feet tall. They also were, of course, terrifying predators. Now, at first glance, you might think, okay, giant birds have existed. The biology is all laid out. This shouldn't be complicated, right?
Giant birds, giant sloths. What else they had giant? They had a lot of things that was giant. Low key. We were roaming on this earth.
Well, no, because Big Bird is not built like any of these birds at all. Real giant birds are basically engineered like athletes. Ostriches have huge muscular thighs, narrow bodies, and small heads. Everything is very much streamlined and built around the fact they are balancing hundreds of pounds on two legs, and gravity is trying to end their career every single second of their lives. That was a sports joke. It was clever, right? Okay, originally in my script, I was gonna say...
Hold on. How tall is Big Bird? Like, Big Bird is 7 feet? He have to be 7 feet, right? Like, no, Sesame Street, bro. Big Bird have to be, what, 7 feet? 8 feet? Nah, bro. Big Bird is not 8 feet, low key. If Big Bird is 8 feet, is he bigger than that, the bear for the Big Blue House? Is he taller than the bear in the blue house? Anybody try to compare that? Y'all know about the bear in the Big Blue House, huh? Okay, let's compare Big Bear and I know this about to be I know this is gonna be a long one, but it is what it is. How tall is Big Bird on Sesame Street? Okay. How tall he is, okay. He definitely got to be like 7 feet, right? 7 feet or 6 feet. Low-key, he got to be tall. Yamming and slamming it. Slamming the ball. Low-key. 8 feet, 2 inches? God. 8'2"? He's 8'2"? Wow. There was like somebody in there. The bear. And it was the Blue House. Blue House. Okay, wow. How tall the bear was, low key. The bear had to be like 6 feet, low key. How tall was the bear? I put an R. How tall was the bear? The bear was 7 foot tall? God. Low key? Make this I got a fire 5v5. Give me freaking the Big Bear as my power forward. Give me Big Bird as my center. Grove as my shooting guard. Ammo as my point guard. And small forward, I would get that to Cookie Monster, low key. Low key, hold on. Well, no. No. Get that to Dracula. No, my small forward got to be Dracula. Low key, and my 6-man that's coming off the bench. Get Burning my 6-man and 7-man and 8-man. Burning Ernie. And you can put Oxford the Grouch and my 8-man, who's gonna sub man. You could put Cookie Monster. He's going to dumb in the paint. At best, he's going dumb. Low keys, he's going dumb. I'm not gonna hold you. He's yamming on some stuff. I think that team would be pressure, low key.
This took me a long time to write said sports joke, but now it's taken me like a full 5 minutes to record this meta commentary because it's so stupid. So I'm now here to hear my ramblings about the meta commentary and how stupid it is. Yeah, Big Bird is very different. It's built basically like a chopstick with feathers glued on. He has tiny thin legs, a giant round torso, and a massive head. He also, of course, has 2 little, very much decorative wings that do absolutely nothing. This is in fact not how you build a large bird. the biology is completely wrong. See, the problem we have here is the famous square cube law, which really ruins the big-bird design. When animals get bigger, their weight increases faster than their bones get stronger. So double the height, well, weight goes up about 8 times. But say bone strength, only about 4 times. So the bigger you get, the harder gravity's gonna be on you, and the more you have to build to fight against it. This is why elephants have basically pillar legs and rhinos look like tanks. Now apply that to Big Bird. At his size, his legs shouldn't be slightly thicker, they should be dramatically thicker, elephant level thick. He needs massive columns of bone and muscle designed to stop gravity
I was just trying to say that was penguin right there, but I ain't want to make the joke like that.
Folding him onto himself, but instead he has literal noodle legs. Currently, his model is just shit. His legs should snap constantly and every part of his body should be under deadly stress. So if we're gonna make our Big Bird design work, he needs thick, huge thigh muscles, large, thick legs, and just a build similar to larger animals. But this isn't the biggest physical problem he has. No, the bigger problem isn't because of size, but something he possesses he really shouldn't, and complicates all of this far more than it should. Wings. See, not all birds have wings, and there are flightless birds. A good example is penguins. Now, a bird has wings for actual reasons.
Oh, you forgot an ostrich too. Ostrich can't fly that good either. So like penguin, ostrich, chickens. What are the birds that can't fly that good? They can get a little globe, like a little shake for like them split seconds. I think that's really the only 3 birds that I know, low key.
They must fly in some way, or else they wouldn't have them in the first place. They also need to function in physics, meaning the size or wingspan has to actually work with the bird. And as you can guess, Big Bird doesn't follow any of this. For one, he cannot fly at all. He doesn't even glide. He simply does nothing using these wings. But even if he wanted to, he couldn't, because of something called wing load. Wing loading is basically how much weight each unit of a wing has to carry in order to keep something in the air. The heavier the animal, the bigger the wings have to be. And going to other birds, we can get some numbers. The largest flying bird today, the albatross, has a wingspan of about 11 feet. That's already huge. But going back in time, we got the kings of flight like the Petasaurus. They have wingspans around 30 to 35 feet. They also were built very much to fly with literal hollow bones. Now looking back at Big Bird, we can figure out his wingspan just by looking at him and how big his wings are. So what?
Yo, wait a minute, hold on. How are they all possibly fitting in this bed? Yo, this lucky got to be an extra large bed. Big Bird is taking half of the spot, low key. I'm not gonna hold you. He's taking the majority. Who is this bear? Golly. Nah, bro, she's crud in the middle with it. He's dead. He down there about to fall off. Like, at best, she should be like right over here. He should be like dangling.
Is it? About 4 to 5 feet. Yeah, so no, that's just not enough wing, literally being attached to an 8-foot tall, several 100-pound monster. This also means Big Bird is by definition a flightless bird with wings. This of course gives us an idea of his evolutionary history. See, wings are expensive in nature, and evolution does not keep expensive body parts around unless they are needed for survival. This is because maintaining wings takes energy, resources, and development. All of that needs to be for something, and while for Big Bird, he doesn't have a reason. This would mean he mostly evolved from flying ancestors that did fly, but also the size of his wings just don't make sense. The biggest idea we can get from this is the gigantism that plagues him is a newer development in his weird biology, and the wings just kind of stuck around. But really, if we actually want him to work, he needs to have a way larger wingspan so he can really fly. Based on his size, he would need to have wings in the 30 to 40 feet span,
Right,
which is insane, but the only—
Hold on, I know that they such and such who do the hook shots.
larger wingspan,
That
so
look
we
like
can
him.
really
Hold on, that look like him. Who LeBron LeBron beat his record.
fly. Based on his size, you need to have wings in the 30 to 40 feet span, which is insane, but the only option if he truly wants to soar through the skies. Now, going more into the concept of gigantism, which I just mentioned, this is the only easy explanation. He's the last survivor of his species who got some form of mutation in their evolution that made them grow far larger than they're supposed to, messing up a lot to their development. This is not impossible. We have animals with cases of it a lot of them being extinct like the dodo, elephant birds, or the moe. But all these birds are so flightless because of their size. No matter if he flies or not.
Wait, Barney just popped up in my mind. How tall is Barney? Low key, hold on. I could make a super team now. Fuck. Nah, hold on. That just came up my mind. That just came up my mind. Barney gotta be like 6 feet, huh? Come on. What, how tall he is? He's not 5 nothing. No, his lucky at 6. He's 6 something. At best, he's 6 something. Cause he was taller than the kids, bro. 6 feet tall. That hold on, he's 6'2", 7. Okay, 6'2", 7. Bet. Hold on, replace that. Yeah, Big Bird as the center. Give me Barney at the small forward, low key. Keep the bear as power forward. Ammo as the point guard. Grover is the shooting guard. And oh yeah, bro, we making a freaking official mascot Muppet team, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Hold on, that's actually gonna be dumb. I'm not gonna hug you. That's gonna be a crazy team.
That isn't the end of its insanity. No, because we haven't touched the aspect the show itself plagues us with, being his age and how big he could get. Let me explain. But before I do that, how about you do something for me? It's very simple, I promise. Simply push that subscribe button if you like that, maybe turn on notifications. But really, it would be very nice of you. I've undermined the idea in the past and felt it silly, but apparently asking people to subscribe actually works. So if you like the video, you're getting more videos as I'm trying to do the insane task of
facts. If you do that the same to me, you get more videos like these and stuff like that, and more other crazy videos that's gonna come to the channel and stuff like that. So subscribe, help me help you in the long run. You get great content. You ain't got nobody else to watch in the middle of the night. All your favorite YouTubers that they ain't posting nothing like that. Come on over to my channel, and I promise you, I have a lot of videos just for y'all. I damn near post every single day. 3 to 6 videos, or 3 to 10 videos, maybe 11. Who knows? It just depends how the days is gonna look like. But in general, come on down.
3 videos a week. It would be great if you subscribed and just watched. Either way, back to the video. Big Bird is canonically 6 years old. That is a literal child. I mean, you know anything about bird biology, especially larger, this is very alarming.
Wait.
See,
Big Bird is 6 years old? Hold on, son. Things that's not adding up. I thought Big Bird was like low-key older than Ammo, low-key on some real stuff. Ammo is like low-key, he had the child nice play and stuff
large
like that.
birds do not grow fast. They do the opposite. The bigger the bird, the longer the childhood. Because growing a massive body safely takes time. Ostriches, for example, take about 3 to 5 years just to reach maturity. And that's an ostrich, which compared to Big Bird is truly nothing. Go back into time to the era of giant extinct birds, even longer. Because it's simply a rule of their biology. This means the rules apply to Big Bird whether he likes it or not. And that is, very bad. Because Big Bird is 6 years old and already 8 feet tall. He still has 15 to 20 more years of growth in him, which means his size would be of eldritch horror. My likely guess is his growth would slow down, but he would still get to 15 to 20 feet in height, which is truly terrifying. Now with this, I like to leave the physical outside body and touch the internal horror of Big Bird, because oh my god, is he not okay?
So
I want to talk.
Is you basically saying that's like Big Bird is not supposed to be tall as his age and stuff like that, and we got these freaking kids out here tall like at the age of 6 or 7 or 13 at best before they even hit high school and stuff. And I know that's genetics and stuff like that in general, but in general, what is so horrifying about Big Bird? And like, he's 8 foot tall. It's low key, he's nice. He's really soft like a pillow. He's not on no killing streak. And I know you was talking about the birds back in the day. The birds are back in the day, the sloths and all that other stuff. in the orangutan, bro. That was a different breed back in the days, bro. Oh, you said you're crispy. How you know about that? Just know I do my research.
Talk about it. Looking into his internal biology, the most important thing we can find is what he eats and how, of course, it affects him. Because when you actually look at what Big Bird is shown eating, it's incredibly normal for a human child. Bird seeds, fruits, snacks, cookies, the occasional human child meal. This is a perfect diet for a kindergartner, not a giant 400 to 800 pound bird. See, when we get to the insane size of a bird like Big Bird, the amount of food they need is obviously huge because they require an insane amount of fuel to simply live, to maintain body temperature, keep organs functioning, and be able to even walk. A bird of that size would very easily need somewhere in the range of 8 to 12,000 calories every single day, or else they would not survive. Put that into real food terms, it becomes ridiculous almost immediately. That's roughly 40 or more cups of birdseed per day, several pounds of food. Big Bird should be eating the way a horse eats, or the way you feed a large zoo animal. Plus, the food itself should be way more protein dense, as Big Bird would most likely be a predator, not a birdseed guzzling muppet. This leaves us with about two possibilities, both not being great. Either Big Bird is constantly starving and somehow functioning anyway, which would be impossible.
Oh, besides that, what happened to this dude? Somebody told me, they said a theory on TikTok that it was like his imagination the whole time. And like the dude who did his voice acting like had passed away or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, go back.
Both not being great. Either Big Bird is constantly starving and somehow functioning anyway, which would be impossible, or he eats constantly off screen, which feels kinda boring. So instead, I'm just gonna say in our realistic Big Bird model, he eats way more. And with that, we can go into our final concept being metabolism. Birds already have one of the most intense metabolisms on the planet. They run far hotter than, say, humans, with the average body temperature being around 106 Fahrenheit or about 41 Celsius. This is because their system burns energy just faster, processes oxygen just faster, and maintains a level of metabolic output mammals don't. It's what gives them the ability of insane fast movement, whether on land or air. Now take all that and apply it to Big Bird. An animal that large, with bird metabolism, would generate huge amount of internal heat, which means he would need enormous oxygen intake to keep his metabolic fires burning. That means massive lungs, massive air sacs, and a huge heart pumping constantly just to supply oxygen to tissue that are burning fuel at an incredible rate. This is all just horrifying and truly repaints what Big Bird is and would look like. He truly is more similar to the avian dinosaurs of past in looks, body structure, metabolism, and just horror. If you would like more videos like this, click on this playlist right here for my overanalyzing.
Hold on. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. He was basically talking about how Big Bird is low-key dangerous as horror. Even though Big Bird is not really horror dangerous. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us social media, pop on the screen. We is on the road to 500. And I'm out. Love y'all. And have a good day. And, stay blessed.
What